Hey everyone, welcome back to another Roman Reacts. We are here today to watch another video for you. This one is going to be another Warhammer video. It's continuing on with Wizards and Warriors account for the Horus Hersey. So we're going to be continuing to watch a bunch of his videos. So every day we're going to be watching a video from him about the lore, getting to know what happened, and yeah, just exploring the whole lore of Warhammer. So we're gonna be diving in now and just have some fun with it. So let's enjoy ourselves, okay? All right, so here we go. Seeds of Chaos is the name of the title. So yeah, these are definitely the Lunar Wolves. It's such a tragedy with what they've gone through, but there's still few that did remain loyal. But yeah, let's give this a watch.
Although the galaxy was once again in human hands, the Emperor's control had begun to waver. The Primarchs grew dissatisfied when the militaristic side of the Imperium began waning in importance, and more power was given to normal humans. Many secretly broke the rules made by the Emperor, unknowingly opening themselves to the machinations of the Chaos Gods. While all this was happening, the newly appointed War Master Horus Hersey struggled to keep his brothers in check and prove that he was a capable leader. Welcome to our series on Warhammer 40k and the Horus Heresy, explaining the origins of the Imperium and Chaos. This second video will explore how arrogance and stubbornness let Chaos corrupt the first Primarch. Also, start preparing yourself to serve.
Also, Erebus is a pain in the rear too. Don't forget about that, including Lorgar.
Of the Emperor even in death by teaching your soul to pilot a giant robot. A hard task, but start by using our sponsor today, Mech Arena. It's a fast-paced mech combat game for mobile, in which you choose your favorite from a vast array of mechs and take them into quick and frantic PvP action, usually 5 versus 5. You play to rank up through various divisions, with new game modes being unlocked as you go along. Embrace the power of the warp by taking a mech that shoots lightning from its arms to melt away foes. Don't worry, you won't be corrupted by it, probably. There are thousands of pilot, mech and loadout setups to try, and loads of skins too, so you'll find something that works best for you. As you move up the divisions, there will be plenty of chances to level up equipment and get new, more deadly setups, plus as you get more experienced using your favorites, you'll become unstoppable. Since June is Pride Month, you can currently unlock free Pride skins for your mechs through gameplay. And there's an upcoming sci-fi event with a new chain gun heavy weapon, new maps, and a new pilot. Start playing on Android, iOS, or PC absolutely free by using our link in the description or QR code on screen. And you'll also get $30 of bonuses, 1 skin, 1 Prodigy crate, and 5,000 credits to get powerful fast. And here's our account. Add us in-game.
Just so you know, in case you do get to this point in the video, I know you probably would just skip the ads. I know I could skip the ads too, but I'm just trying to be faithful to watching the whole video without skipping a beat, you know? So let's just at least let you know about that.
From the start of the Great Crusade, the Emperor had plans for how the Imperium of mankind would operate. The main aspect of his vision was to protect mankind from the warp, which he recognized as the gravest threat to humanity. From the man-made calamities that struck humanity in the past, the tempting nature of the warp could bring about the ugly return of the bloody Psycho Wars. On many human-inhabited worlds during the Age of Strife, superstitions and religions formed. Most of them claimed that deep within the Immaterium, the gods were observing humanity. The Imperium of Man banned all religions in order to discourage attempts to explore or summon something from the warp. Instead, an ideology called the Imperial Truth was introduced. This dogma stated that there are no gods, magic, or paranormal activities, and faith is abundant. An atheist society of reason and science would someday understand those seemingly impossible phenomena So why should humanity look for baseless religious explanations and stall their progress? When the Great Crusade expanded, the conquered populations were indoctrinated into the imperial truth by the iterators who travelled with the army. However, one of the Primarchs, Lorgar Aurelian, and his Legion of the Word-Bearers did not propagate the imperial truth. Lorgar grew up on the planet Colchis, which was dominated by zealous religious fanatics. They believed that someday their god would come and save them. Lorgar, after achieving high religious standing, proclaimed that he had visions of a giant man in gleaming armor who claimed to be their god, and that he would soon arrive. This caused a schism in their church and a 6-year-long civil war. After the emperor arrived on Colchis a year after the civil war ended in 857 M30, he was greeted as a god. Greatly displeased, the emperor tried to stop being revered as a god, but both Lorgar and the planet population did not change their behavior. After taking control of a legion of word-bearers, Lorgar converted more worlds to his religion. The emperor was full of anger, for this process would take a long time and was in direct disobedience of his orders. He decided to punish Lorgar. In 903 M30, together with the Ultramarines, he destroyed the religious city of Monarchia in front of Lorgar and his entire legion. After the eradicative deed was done, Lorgar was humiliated and reprimanded for the final time. Lorgar, who was completely broken by this event, was swayed by Erebus, the first chaplain of the Word-Bearers, that the Emperor is a god not worthy of his praise, and that there are other gods who would eagerly welcome such a zealous priest. This event marked the fall of the first Primarch to the ruinous powers. From now on, he would set up secret cults.
And Erebus is the one who started it all. That prick.
Amass tainted artifacts and study unholy rituals. His machinations were never discovered. After only a century, there would be another troubling encounter with the gods Lorgar worshipped. In 001 M31, Horus, the newly appointed War Master, encountered human civilization on planet 6319. The local populace was open to talks, and Horus's most trusted advisor, Sejanus, was sent to negotiate. The ruler of this planet called himself the Emperor of Mankind, and after hearing that on Terra resides another man with the same title, who wanted to be the supreme leader of humanity, his attitude changed. Sejanus was executed, and negotiations were broken. In response, the Imperial fleet came in and wreaked havoc, while 4 Space Marine companies and 6 Titans were deployed to obliterate the planet's capital city defenses. This was hardly a battle, as Space Marine armor was too tough to be penetrated by most of 6319's army. The only casualties were elite palace guards, nicknamed Invisibles for their almost perfect camouflage. After an unsuccessful suicide attack on Horus, the capital of 6319 fell into Imperial hands, and the majority of the local army was destroyed. The Space Marines withdrew on board spaceships, leaving the Imperial Guard to conquer the rest of the world. In the meantime, Moneval, the advisory body of Horus Lupercal, needed to replace one of the 4 members of his order after Sejanus' death. Although this was not a formal structure, it was a crucial tool for Horus. As a negotiator and politician, Horus wanted some radical ideas to be presented by his advisors, so he would look merciful by appearing more tempered than his advisors. Having the 4 most capable and trusted captains, who drastically varied in personalities, in the Moneval, their honest advice was always on point. The 4 members of the Moneval were Ezekiel Abaddon, the bloodthirsty captain of the 1st Company, Horus Aximand, the dark-humoured captain of the 5th Company, Tarek Togadan, the light-hearted captain of the 2nd Company, and newly chosen Gavriel Lokan, the phlegmatic captain of the 10th Company. While the preparations for the next campaign were made, most of the planet was incorporated into the Imperium of Mankind. Only one position held firm against the Imperial forces: an unconquerable fortress in the Whisperhead Mountains. With underground passages and bunkers, this heavily fortified position was manned by about 1,000 rebels, supported by artillery batteries. The attacking force consisted of 5,000 to 20,000 Imperial Guardsmen. Waves of constant frontal assaults forced the rebels to fall back to their toughest fortress on the other side of the long and only bridge. Day after day, assaults were carried out, but the Imperial army, exposed and in the crossfire, was never able to cross the bridge. Morale was rapidly decreasing, as beyond the pointless assaults, the dead bodies were left to rot on the field of battle. Additionally, soldiers were troubled by interference in communication. An ominous voice would whisper in Vox radio every few seconds. "Samus, that's the only name you'll hear. Samus. It means the end and the death. Samus. I am Samus. Samus is all around you. Samus is the man beside you. Samus will gnaw on your bones. Look out, Samus is here." What was even more horrifying were sparse claims that a few soldiers heard this voice without a radio. After 6 weeks of constant failure, the 10th Space Marine Company, under the command of Gavriel Loken, was sent to assault the fortress. Spearheaded by the Terminators, they advanced on the bridge. None of the rebel weapons could harm them. This, however, didn't work the other way. Grenades and rockets blew up bunkers and artillery. Bolter bullets fired in the bunker's close quarters were able to sever limbs or completely dismember unarmored rebels. In 68 minutes, the fortress was captured without casualties. During the cleanup, Sergeant Xavier Jabal, who was resentful after being bypassed in promotion, called Captain Loken to inform him that Samus was found. Jabal, who was possessed by a demon, started killing Space Marines who arrived there, slaying 7 of them before dying. Yet even death did not stop his rampage, for a few minutes later, his corpse had risen again, this time appearing to be rotten, much larger, and almost unkillable. It took 91 bullets to bring down this monstrosity, with Gavriel Loken miraculously surviving. Horus Lupercal knew that the being that possessed Jabal came from the warp, yet he considered it to be some kind of Xenos, completely misunderstanding its nature. First, an explanation of the warp is needed to understand what a demon is. The Immaterium is a dimension where the souls of the living go after death. These souls carry with them emotions that were with them in their final moments. Some emotions were vastly more common than others, and over millions of years, similar ones merged together, forming conscious entities that were regarded as gods. The 4 strongest ones that wielded destructive powers were the Chaos Gods. The first one was Khorne, born through anger, the god of fury, warfare and murder. The second one was Tzeentch, born through hope, the god of change and sorcery. The third was Nurgle, born through fear of death, the god of disease and decay. The fourth and youngest was Slaanesh, born through the decadence of the Eldari Empire, the god of excess and pleasure. This destructive pantheon was constantly looking for more power that was gained by influencing material reality. Yet their efforts were impeded by never-ending infighting. None of the Chaos Gods wanted to give even the slightest edge to his kin. In experiments, they discovered that if some of their essences were split off, they could form a demon, a separate entity that would follow the whims of his father god. The demons could never die, as they were still part of the god who created them. Instead, after receiving a fatal blow, they would spend about 1,000 years reforming their body, an insignificant amount of time for an immortal god. Another benefit of using demons was that they could be absorbed into their god any time. This military asset became widely used in petty conflicts. Their attitude drastically changed when the Emperor of Mankind created the Primarchs, in whose creation some of the power of chaos was used. The Emperor's plans to unify the entire galaxy included genociding Xenos races, cleansing the galaxy from all Chaos cultists, and banning Psykers. All of these violent measures combined would drastically decrease the strength of Chaos. Thus, the ruinous powers decided to cease hostilities in order to defeat a common enemy. This fragile alliance hindered humanity's progress by scattering the Primarchs. Using the acquired time to infiltrate the Empire, the demons sowed distrust, promised to fulfill the deepest desires of humans, exploited weaknesses of character flaws or psychological wounds, and spread false prophecies to both humans and Xenos. All of this was done to break the monolithic structure of the Empire. One of the achievements of the demons was the creation of the warrior lodges inside the Space Marines' legions. Theoretically, these secret organizations that functioned despite being banned by the Emperor were where all Adeptus Astartes could be equal, regardless of rank. Privates could freely talk with captains without worrying about consequences or feeling immense pressure. However, this also meant that inside the legions, there were exclusive, secretive organizations where someone corrupted or misguided by chaos could influence thousands of genetically augmented super soldiers, with it being regarded as simply sharing their doubts if others did not accept their speech. In the Lunar Wolves Legion, being a member of a warrior lodge was so common that all Mournival members were part of it. Although Gavriel Loken was opposed to this idea, he joined out of curiosity. Yet the over 200-year-long preparations that the Chaos Gods made could no longer freely continue. Unbeknownst to all humans but Malkador, the Regent of Terra, the Emperor of Mankind was building a definitive solution to the warp's influence on humanity. Up to this point, to travel between the star systems, starships had to enter the Immaterium. There, the Chaos Gods had unobstructed access to manipulate or mutate humans. However, on Terra, a special construction was being made. This construction would be capable of creating special tunnels inside the warp, protected from all foreign influence. It could also have been a tool to conquer the Immaterium. This device was running on immense psychic power, so the Emperor designated it to be operated by Magnus the Red after it was done. The Chaos Gods couldn't allow this construction to finish, and so resolved to use all prepared tools and their combined powers to crush the Empire as soon as possible. In direct confrontation, the Chaos Gods stood no chance, for they were bound to another dimension. The Chaos Cultists, even bolstered by Lorgar Aurelian and his Legion of Wordbearers, were not enough to defeat the Imperium of Mankind on their own. What allies will they find? Using secret organizations and exploiting psychological weaknesses, who will become corrupted by chaos? How radical and unhinged will their plans be? How big will the Chaos Army be? Find out in the next episode. Our series on the Warhammer 40k Horus Heresy will continue, so make sure you are subscribed and have pressed the bell button to see it. Please consider liking, commenting and sharing, it helps immensely. Our videos would be impossible without our kind patrons and YouTube channel members, whose ranks you can join via the links in the description to know our schedule, get early access to our videos, access our Discord, and much more. This is the Wizards and Warriors channel, and we will catch you on the next one.
It's so crazy to me how one single act from, well, it could be a number of things. Maybe Erebus was already corrupted beforehand. They just had to have that little push to push Lorgar into falling into chaos. But the Emperor, like, I know what he was trying to do was what is in his right. Let me see if there was a comment I remember pausing. Slight correction. Monarchia was not on Kolchia. The animation showed an explosion there. Monarchia was the capital city of Kur. Go to Kolchia's after that, where he had the conversations with Magnus. Okay. The webway existed long before humanity has evolved, originally designed and operated by the Old Ones, then used primarily by the Eldar. They ever wanted to give humanity access to it and strengthen the weakened portions of the webway. Mechanicum, at least the highest level, the Fabricator General, was essential to this and used ancient tech to create strongholds in the webway prior to the outbreak of the heresy. Okay, so a little bit extra lore bits there. But yeah, I'm going to give this a like here. So with the Emperor being he had this grand plan. He wanted to get these things ready. But the Chaos Gods did not want their fun to end. They did not want to be siphoned off from the material realm. So because they want things to continue to go where they want. So the Primarchs being split off, I guess you can say, helped, but it took a little while for the Emperor to find them all again. And even then, it was all that was needed to, when splitting them up, enough time to sow the seeds of distrust and doubt. And I say the word bearers are complete fools. They're complete chaotic driven individuals who only care about this worship of a higher deity, and yet they were in the wrong. And that, in a way, it's like if you worship the emperor, you're worshiping him, but not to chaos. Because when you have faith is powered by how strong that faith is into one individual, and that one individual is able to be able to grant boons or powers based on how much worship has been given. It's basically the same thing as like to the Greeks or the Egyptians, and like how they sacrificed animals or something like that to appease their gods, to grant them either a good bountiful season or prepare them for a long conflict to be in their favor. So for the worship, when he going back to Erebus, he basically tricking Lorgar into like there's other higher deities than the Emperor. We can worship them instead. And just right there, you know that there's going to be division, chaos, and the fall of so many good. There's some Primarchs that were technically still good, but they were led astray and fell so bad because of where they were. And yeah, just something else. Anyway, that is it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. This is really good information. And Warriors and Wizards did a phenomenal job. I can't wait to continue to watch more of these, just to get more info, more stuff to keep myself afloat on. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite part was, and we'll continue on with this. Wizard Warriors, I'll post a link up here. Check out a random video over here, including that subscribe button right about there somewhere. And I'll leave a link in the description for the original video. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, Romans, salute.
If you like Romans content and wish to see more, like and subscribe to continue to support the channel.